Good morning, or whatever it is where you are. I have to do a bit of fencing today now, so you can see different sides of what I do. Just letting some air out my tyres. Not able to drive along the field, it's a bit squidgy, very greasy, clayey ground. I'll use two hands, I don't want to lose the valve. Quite a way up the farm, I can't carry the poles by hand, there's the Land Rover. It would spoil my day if I lost that valve. We've got the advantage today of having put that thing back in there. We've got some weight in the back today, which we didn't have yesterday. Oh. Too much brake. Put it in low box. Dab the brakes, it seems to work pretty good as a traction control. There we go. Try not to rev too much. No sense revving like an idiot and spinning. We've got good traction now, we can change gears up. Yep. She's going along here as if she's got her tracks on now. Shouldn't budge before. It was pissing down with rain here yesterday. I had to keep on tapping the foot brake to lock the spinning wheels, but keep my foot on the throttle to keep power. If you understand that, it's alright. If you don't, go out there and try and drive through a field. Better to let go of the throttle sometimes, just let the wheels get a bit of traction. If you're spinning, she stops sometimes. Is my back door open? Or did I just hit the axle on a rock? How many rocks on the ground here? No, I hit the drawbar on the rock. Yeah, popped the pin up. Balance between going slow, getting traction, not going slow, letting the wheels turn at the same speed as we're moving. Once you start braking, that traction, she'll stop. If you tap the foot brake like that, you feel it picking up speed a little bit, starts plucking forward. It brakes. The spinning wheels get slowed down by the brakes, so then the non-spinning wheel gets a bit of traction. This gateway is a bit of a bat. Beep. No. As Jeremy Clarkson says, speed and power solve many things. Well, Jezza, I think you're right here. Stab the brakes there, she's plucking forward. You need a bit of speed on the wheel to throw the mud out of the treads. The more speed you got on the wheel, the better it cleans the treads out so it keeps gripping. Once those treads fill up with clay, you don't grip. See if I can go into some shadows here. The fence I done the last couple of days on here. It's quite soft here, so I can push the stakes in the ground with an excavator. I don't need the post knocker, so I'm using that excavator. I'll just take these around so I can get to my clamps and underneath them. So I got strainer posts on the corners here, but it's very soft here. I put them down as far as I can without the fence going too low, so the fence will be like 40 inches high. But on a corner post like this, with a lot of tension on a high tensile wire, it'll pull the post out the ground. And it doesn't matter how well you get these done, the stays here, she'll still pull out. So I'll put another strainer down there, I'll tighten this one, put a high tensile wire down to this, then pull that tight, then I'll put the stay in, or the strut, and then pull that way. Sometimes on these corners, if you put these two struts in, you pull this one and then you start pulling that way, this post has moved a little bit sometimes, and then this one gets loose and then the whole post moves before it gets back in contact with that one. You can say, yeah, because you did a shit job, but it's not. It's the ground conditions are different everywhere. Sometimes you're in rocks and the rocks move about sometimes, especially on some of the hills. So that's about how much air we got in these now. They'll go up as we pull the posts out. I don't know if you can see better with or without the visor. Put these stakes, I put all these posts and stakes in this field down yesterday. I should have opened more of the wire really, but I got a bit late. I was ringing around for another excavator at lunchtime. All the ones with the slightly low hours sell straight away. They're all sold by the time I get to ring them up. I need to be more on the ball if I want a JS 2015 with under 4,000 hours on it, I think. They're a good machine. They're a lot cheaper than competition. It's probably why they sell quick. People have found that they're quite good. Well, I think people know that JS machines are quite good anyway. I'll put that one down in there for that one. So every time I got a corner that's like 90 degrees or steeper, put one in. I got 4 of them for the job, so hope I got enough. My reconditioned gearbox, crunching gears. That's what happens when you put a second-hand synchro hub in it. It's alright. It's the clutches. I put a heavy-duty clutch in it. The thing was a bit fat, and it doesn't release very well. I drove it and rolled my foot on the pedal to burn the clutch a bit after I put it in, because it made it difficult to change gears for a while. There we go. Find out, move about. So that'll pull straight to you now then. A little bit of a kink up to here. I put 2 posts down in the bottom corner yesterday. Because I had one of these left and I wanted to put it in the where I wanted it. I don't know what purpose was of that. That's what I did. Bloody hell. These tips are difficult to get a grip on. Gone past it now. I must have decided to put 2 or 3 around this corner. because it's soft here and lots of corners. That's why we're putting them in so they're down to about there by the time they're hitting the ground, so there's that much post on the ground. If you want fences higher in wet places like this, you need longer posts. I'll do the fence when it's dry. Helps. They don't move so much when it turns wet then. When you're fencing them in the wet, they move about a lot more. Yeah, the ditch comes up here, so put it there. Put them leaning into the field a bit as well. And the weight of the fence straightens them. Pressure of the wire. And if they're still leaning into the field, it's a good thing anyway. Stop the cattle rubbing on them. The barbed wire is the closest thing to the cattle. I might put all these in now, then I'll have the ones around the back for tightening the wire then ready. I don't think I could go much lower than there. It looks pretty wet here. Don't get stuck. Yeah, look. Started sinking already. If I had full pressure in the tyres, I'd be down in it. These smaller ones I need. Fuck's sake. Still a bit shorter posts. Didn't think we needed so many along this little run. Need a bit on here as well. It's pretty soft here. I put one of the bigger posts here. I'll take this one all the way to the corner to stay that one down. And I'll bring a heavier post onto that bit. His brother's heavier bugger here. She runs down that way. She runs to meet that one. Not going to bother kinking into there. If one thing it drops down, fence will be really low. Yep. So I'll need a lighter post on the hill here, so that'll be for tomorrow now. I'll put a bigger one here and a bigger one over there. Probably run out of big ones then. I'll use this. Oh no, I got the clamp there. Take that clamp up to the next one then. Just leave a strap there with that clamp. Strap with that one. Winch with that one. So I put the strap around the post and then I have the winch on and then I clamp and pull the wire with the winch. Take a piece of wire with me. I recorded myself putting the wire on that one, but I think it's a piece of crap camera cut out, so I'll have to record this one again now. You missed all the action with me getting stuck. I might have recorded it, I don't know. All these people need to manufacture things that don't freeze and work well. They're all day, every day working on making them better. Just make them so they don't freeze. Stop adding crap into them. Make a good camera. That's all you need to do. as easy as that. This job's not easy either. It's not made easier by having cameras that freeze. It's for got it through. It won't work so well because it's on a flat angle. It'll still work. Not as good. Oh yeah. Staple it to the loving stake. I can staple it a little bit further down than tension. I'll pull it down a little bit. Just remember to staple them on the same place each side. Don't really want to come in from the edge on the corner either. You want from the widest spot. Okay. And have these so that the staples are about the same level. Try and put it through the thickest part of the triangular stake. I got some stone walling and stuff to do as well. If you're interested in seeing videos of stone walling, hit the like and the subscribe. I'll make better videos. I'll get a better camera as well. This one's alright. Just cuts out all the time and wastes my time. Damn. Didn't see the last one. Maybe if the camera cut out, I cut that bit too short. Put two stakes in behind here. This one did a bit of a crack. We'll see how I put them in a minute. I'll set one up in the far corner over there. I put the I cut that, put it in, put the stake in, and then I mark with the tip of the steel spike then, or truss, how I call it, at the same angle as the bottom of the stake, so they're supposed to be sitting flat on there, but yeah, never works out like you want them to. And then I hit these in a little bit, and then I straighten them and hit them in straight, and then I go over there with the machine then and pull this back until this fits in, and then there's a lot of pre-tension then from this onto that. But sometimes you pull on them just a little bit too much and they make a cracking noise, so I just put that one in behind it just to hold it. If it's cracked in the middle now, this one will stop it from bending, so it won't affect anything. But I prefer not to crack them. So I only do these when the conditions are wet or soft like this. I don't bother on the dry fields to put the wire on. Just make sure that the bottom of the strut is far enough in the ground. They don't move then. Really. If I've got a long pole or something, I might put dig it in, put the wire on. If it's like 100 metre length or something, but I won't bother on 40, 30, 20 metre strips. Just wind these up with a twisting tool that keeps twisting. You'll see when I pull the fence tight, these will get really tight. I'll tap them and they'll go bing, bing, bing. So they're doing their job. If the strap has been pulled on the post just a bit higher than the centre of the netting when you put the netting in place, the tension is greater while you're doing this than when the wire is then on the post. So that's quite tight there now. I'll give these clamps a bit of a tap with a hammer. I'll run and get the clamp from the bottom barb over there because I've tensioned the bottom barb to put the stakes on. And I go on in the centre there that I can bring back and put on the top barb. I've got 4 of them, but one of them's been holding a boundary wire between me and my neighbour for about 3 years, and I haven't got around to fixing my own fence. I do a bit of fencing for, well, I used to, for one of my neighbours, and every time I put the chain on the post they'd argue with me that I was putting it the wrong way around. I'd have to have the argument with him every time about which way and why I was putting it on. The way I was putting it on, he just wouldn't have it. Kiwis would probably be crying if they saw how I'm using this strain rate tensioner. I used to have an old Haynes one. Haynes it wasn't. It was my dad's one. I lost it somewhere during my late teens, rushing to try and get some fencing done. I'm not sure if it was my granddad's old one off a farm in New Zealand. So this barb wire is pretty tight. I like to have the top barb nearly as tight as it'll take. So I put a bit of tension on them with the little winding tool, wherever I put it. Go down here and finish winding these. Just cut these down just a little bit, so I'm not winding for half a century. I'll pick all those up after I finish cutting. I missed one. I need to do that one shorter, might not be able to wind down. You can see the post's already moved a few inches. These wires will already be tight. Yeah. Just because it's so soft here. I might bury a big post down in there and put a wire along the bottom onto it. We'll see how it goes first. It's important to always wear gloves when you're doing this kind of work. Very, very important. Oh, it is important. Unless you like your hands burning all night. So the wire's high tensile as well. I mean the netting or pig wire, whatever you want to call it. Whatever you guys call it in America. No idea what you call them in America. I like to tap it around so that these get tight against the post as well. I haven't brought the hammer down with me. I'm just scratching the galvanising on the wire, don't I? They pull up when you kick them as well, but it turns around then. I always put these so that the tips of the strut is a little bit off centre to the wire side to stop the posts from spinning. And you can kick it like that, it goes in. It's better in there like that. It's going to be less inclined to spin the post. Leave that one like that, good enough. I can put a bit more tension on these out. I always check the bottom barb to see if it slackens. Good indicator of post movement. This thing's tight enough to pull to the side now without catching on the netting. I put one more on the monkey, which is quite a lot on a short span. That's quite tight. I'll have a look what's going on down there now. I'm not happy to do it any tighter than that. So the post has pretty much stayed about where it was last time now, so I'm quite happy to put more tension on that. It's leaned a little bit like that. I did want it leaning a little bit like that so that it would be straight, but the ground was going down like that a little bit, and I probably put it pretty much level, so I prefer to have them perpendicular to the ground, and then it would be straight like that, then at a nice angle to take a wire or whatever over there. I'm not sure what he wants to do. When we start getting a bit of tension on the netting and on the top barb, I like to put the bottom barb as tight as it can be first, without putting more tension on it. I reckon that tension on the bottom barb below this pivot point holds it so that there's more friction on the post against the earth, less inclined to pulling up. I hate these monkey strainers. They're the most rubbish tool on planet Earth. The most rubbish tool on planet Earth. You know, they just make them like that. Why do they have to have 10 million components? That's tight enough. I can probably go one more, but pretty. There you go. I won't go more than that there. That's supposed to pull around. You can pull around with the bar. Because it's tight from here on over. Got too much friction on everything. It's tight though. There you go. It's pretty much as tight as I'm happy to do that. There you go. Bottom still tight. Yeah. I'll see if I can get one more on the bottom one after checking. It's pulled forward a little bit, but nothing too dramatic. Yeah, it's good. If I haven't got the wire on, that's high tensile as well. If I didn't have the wire on there, it wouldn't hold. No amount of wire from the bottom of that to that would hold it. Now this post has barely moved, but if we go in this direction as well, it might not move today, but because the high tensile wires and a lot of tension, maybe in a year's time that would pull up. So I'll put that in there, do the strut and stay, and put the hole there already. Just need to, and I've cut the end of the stake, just need to put the stake in the ground and put the plain wire on it. Put some of these on here now to locate the netting on the post. Then we can go over to the next post. It's just on the corner there on the hill, on the hump, on the corner, on the hill, on the hump. I got a mark there, that's my top barbed wire mark from the netting. And about there. Put a staple yet. Just to stop the wire falling down and do the struts and the stays now. Yeah, I'll pull from over there, then I'll come here with this bar and pull this around. And then staple it tight on that one then. After we've finished tensioning, it'll tension this one a little bit more, so I might pull a little bit more on these tools then after we go on that one. I'll have to get the tensioner now from the far end to put on the bottom on that one, because I've only got 3, and then I can tighten that one, staple it on, take that one on the top wire on the next post, and then that top one there can go on the bottom on the far end then, and then do the same then, take the bottom or top one to the far end and finished. The clamp and some winches over to the other post, and I'll bring the gas over here now. I'll just drop these clamps off here now and do the strut over there. Not looking too bad. Look at the beds over those staples. I'll need to try and get the angle of this thing pretty much bang on a 45 here. So I need to put it right there where that grass, between those two bits of grass on there. So just so you can see how soft the ground is here. It's a 7-foot post. I'm just pushing it in there. Machine's a little bit far away from the post to have the full weight of the machine on it. Move that stake. And the machine as close as possible to the whatever you're pushing down, to have the full effect of the weight of the machine on the bucket or on the post. Far away, the more leverage the post has on the machine. Come on, go down further now. Whereas closer still, we'll go down even better. So give it a few slaps. pretty bloody soft to be pushing a 5 to 6 inch post down like that. That thing's about 10 foot deep under the surface of the field now. It's just going down easy. There you go, 7 footer and ground there. I whack the stake in. I know, like that. I've cut the end off to fit the hole. And I don't put the bottom of them bang on here, I put them a little bit in so that they're holding a little bit stronger to hold the post. When you have them all the way there, once they're past the centre of the post, they don't want to be that side of the centre of the post really, because they're in the centre, and if you're there, well, they're already on the wrong side of the arch, if you like. I'm going to call it an arch. It is like an arch, same effect. Causes a wedging effect. And you don't want it too far out so the cattle don't stand on it. And put it there. And just make a little pilot hole. Then straighten the hole in and go straight down there. These round ones. I don't know how to get the quick bucket off on this machine. I can't find the quick hitch switch. I'll push that down. Seriously soft to just push it down like that. Oh, I bought a new spade. I can dig my little trench now. I saw this thing at the farmer's. My mum's got one the same as her home. Oh, and a little leather thing for holding it. It's posh, isn't it? These guys and Gillette make a lot of tools. I wouldn't be surprised me if there's one of those stories where they're both from the same street, the same town, and they've been rivals since 1874, and they were cousins or something. They had an argument about how to put a knife edge onto a piece of wood or something, and went their separate ways then. It's pretty sandy soil, this. I've been doing this with the spike, digging these little trenches. So I put them down so that the strut is against there, not up here. So this thing then has a lot of earth holding above as well. Gives it a lot more strength. And if I was just to put it up on the surface, it shouldn't fit now, it should be too tight. Yeah, so it's too tight by quite a long way. And what I do then is I pull this and the machine and it slots in. These rounded posts are a bit wet and soft. They break quite easily, they're not made of the best wood. Well, nothing's made of the best anything except for that spade. I don't know if that handle's hickory or what. It's got a nice little spade. I'll crush it with the bucket now. Yes. Ruin my day. So just go until you start to hear the wood struggling under tension. This thing doesn't go into lock and you lift the dead man up. A very good dead man as if it doesn't lock. Oh, that was a stake breaking. it broke pretty far down. I usually put these in without all these wires in my way as well. It's making it a bit difficult. Pop it up so that it's against the top. Yep. Even though that went bang, it's probably still got a hell of a lot of tension on it against the stay. I don't know if the check valve on this thing's not holding. I don't, the weight of the dipper arm wouldn't have broken that anyway. There you go. And I've had one brake after I've stopped. It'll be extremely tight still. Yep. We'll move. I'll just tap it so that it's just a little bit like that. I bought this spade for the low loader, not for fencing. I should have bought two really. But the nuisance when I got a spade for the low loader. Go. That's how much tension is on. You can hear the whole thing. How much tension is on that now. I have to dig this quite deep down, well, a foot down to be able to lever it over. So, sounds tight as well. But when I get to this stage, usually I give it another twist. I grab there and pull it around to pull the wire in, but I got these quite tight. I'll nae bother. Go put the clamps on the other one. And just take as much slack as possible out of the netting before I start tensioning or you run out of cable. Nothing more irritating than having all the clamps on and running out of cable. You can pull about 150 metre length of netting tight if you pull the slack out properly with just like 4 foot of cable. Want the bottom of the net to be the closest point to the fence as well. Open this top barb out now. One of my most hated jobs, opening these coils of barb on my own liners. That's why I don't like it more than anything. Just leave it there for now. No sense walking all the way to the far end without needing to. I'll use this clamp on this one here now. Much prefer this one to the other one. Decided to uncoil this barb all the way. And I can tension it up out the way. So it'll be up in the air then. Won't have to try and lift it up and have it catching on the netting, which is a bloody nuisance. These starlings will be glad to have their field fenced off. Wildlife doesn't give a flying duck. Why they think they need to fence everything off, I don't know. Spending millions on it. And then they don't pay. Or they find ways not to pay. That's the type of people that run the farming grants. Oh, I wanted to tension the bottom one. Starling's got me preoccupied. I was thinking if I was going to say what I was thinking about then or not. I was just going to rant on about David Attenborough. I won't bother. He's too much of a hero. I like his Planet Earth programs. But their methods of saving the world are a bit apart. I don't know what they're saving the world from, really. Either, like, they keep going on that the human race has only existed for a blink of an eye in the planet's history, whatever they call it. Can't remember what they call it now. Something. It's got a name. The life cycle of the planet, or whatever. Like geological history or something. Anyway. Humans have only been around for a blink of an eye in those kind of terms, and yet they're basing their assumptions and everything on all the problems we're having in the planet, or on the planet, on records kept over a really narrow window of a really narrow window in time and the age of the planet. It's always changing. I know it's probably changing a bit faster because of carbon we're putting in the air. But all you need is another lockdown and it clears up. The air gets perfectly crystal clear again. And the water in the seas crisp and clear. And the air cools down. The air temperature cooled down an awful lot during those lockdowns, especially in the countryside here. They're yakking on about permanent damage. Just need to stop the northern hemisphere from polluting for 2 weeks every year. Make a massive difference. No one will do that because everything is economy driven. So people like David Attenborough are banging on about the right things in the wrong order. Anyway, people soon forget how things are and were. The air seems clear today, and you can see that hill there. It's not crystal clear. There is something dulling the look. Is like 98% clear, not 100%. During those lockdowns, you could see Ireland along there nearly every day when it wasn't raining or whatever. Crystal clear all the time. Most industries were carrying on. It was just people when driving along them 6 wasted journeys pollute a lot. I mean, how many millions of people waste a journey? How many millions of people waste time on their phones? All the mobile phones and gadgets on the planet take, like this GoPro I'm using now, if you add all of them up, probably be the energy that Britain produces to keep the grid going is how much electricity is used on gadgets. So think about that next time you start complaining about cows and sheep. The governments seem to like to praise how well they're doing, the Welsh Government will say they're saving this and that amount of carbon. The Welsh Government isn't saving anything on a global scale. Wales doesn't even affect anything, it's too small. But if the Northern Hemisphere did like when we had the lockdowns, and we had no one was driving anywhere or anything, if we had like a lockdown type situation, but you were allowed to walk around and go meet your friends and everything, but you're not allowed to drive, so you just take the bus. So bus services would be allowed to carry on, and the key workers would be allowed to carry on the same as lockdown, and everyone gets paid a furlough for that 2 weeks. The whole Northern Hemisphere would stop. Nothing, no planes or anything, only essential flights. But it would all get scammed and changed around so it wouldn't work. But it should work. It would clear the air a lot. It would make a massive difference. I'll show you some pictures if I can find them of the air around here when we had a lockdown. It only takes like 4 or 5 days, and the air is crystal clear then for weeks. We've been having a lot of smog this year coming in from Birmingham. When that first day of the Rugby World Cup was on in France, we had a terrible smog. It was horrible. I don't know if there was a lot of travel along with the weather system coming up from the Mediterranean, but it was just non-stop smog for about 2 days here. But you can smell in the air when it's pollution. It smells like city or airport air. So that's something we should be smelling out here, like 200 miles out from a city, or from a major city anyway. Birmingham's the closest. We've got some cities in North Wales here, but nothing too major. Anyway, I'll stop yakking on now. No one cares much about what I have to say about things like that. So I'll put the wire tensile around this one. Like I'm banging on here a bit now, but I'll show you a picture that was taken from Dublin of Witherva over there, or Snowdon as some people call it. I can just make out the shape of a mountain over there in Ireland, but can't really see it very often now. But during the lockdown you could see it perfectly. You could nearly see the houses and the buildings sometimes. It was so clear. But you can see Snowdon or Witherva from Dublin there, and it's crystal clear, and you can see all the snow on the mountain, and you can see all these mountains around here perfectly. I don't think they'd ever seen such a view from Dublin before. So there's something in what I'm saying. Just putting the last piece of tension on this wire now, going down to that strainer post on there. Feed them around and back onto themselves. I'll cut and tie them off after I finish tensioning the wire in that direction, so the strap's not in my way. Oh. See if I can get one more on the bottom. I'll go check the post again and go paranoid and soft places like this. The one I'm pulling up doesn't seem to be moving a lot. It's moved a bit. Heel this down a bit so it doesn't have the advantage of sucking air down in the hole. I just cut and tied them on. Pull this one down. So I got one staple around there and one around here. I like to have them like at least 1/8 of the round of the post away from each other. They clamp on better then. So that's like a guitar as well, so you can see in there now. You got that one there, 2 there. That thing should take a ton of force.